Y'all niggas lucky we ain't have our shit together the way we should have had our shit together back then. They know it too. We let a lot of y'all niggas live.
Listen, I listened to the record, and I listened to a lot of Big features. And Big really murders everybody that he's on the record with. I'm so sorry to certain people that be mad at me when I say this. I apologize. I don't mean no disrespect. But Big, other than you and Jay, I don't see
Jay murdered that fucker, man.
Yeah, I don't see.
But Jay was ready. I think Jay had that verse for like 8 years and shit. He was just waiting. He was just waiting. What? He was like, shit, I got like one in the chamber right here. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Did you realize that Big was one of the GOATs at that time?
He wasn't. Nobody knew who we were. Nobody. It was like the way we felt about ourselves, because you know New York was the mecca of fucking hip hop. So that tri-state, if you lit there, that's the world for you.
Yeah.
You go down south,
Shit like that. People like
yeah. You go down south.
I hate the New York.
You go down south. This is where it changes at.
Yes.
This is where Bad Boy said, "Phew."
Right.
One more chance. They was loving that shit in the South.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Big Papa, that shit in the South. We ain't had those records, but we did have All I Need, which was my shit, but killing that shit. Right. And them niggas took the fuck off, man. Bless all of them, man. For real. They, you know, that's an iconic fucking label, iconic fucking crew, and Puff still doing it. Salute to Puff.
So let's describe this session.
Yeah.
Tracy Raples, you said.
Hey, Rob.
She picks you up. Y'all go to the session, and is this beat already playing? Or
Easy Mo B made the beat. It was
fine?
playing. No, it was already playing.
It was already playing. You walked in and said.
Nah, I walked in and Big was snapping on Puff first, and you know I'm just laughing and shit. Shit was hilarious because Puff was like, "You gotta say my name." He's like, "Nigga, I said your name like 15 times on this motherfucking album." Puff know I'm telling the truth too. You know I'm telling the truth, Puff. But then we sat there and wrote our verses. We both sat there and wrote them.
And I'm an artist, so I know. Are you sitting there trying to take his head off? Or you just saying, I'm just going?
No, when I heard the beat, sometimes you hear a beat and your pen just start flowing. So once your pen start flowing, nothing else exists and you can't hear shit but the beat and your pen going. So it was no communication at that point in time. I didn't hear his shit, he didn't hear my shit, so it's even at that point.
Y'all
we started 0-0. Now I wasn't even taking each other head off. Me, I was just trying to stay in the pocket like I always do. I'm gonna stay in the pocket, I'm gonna ride this rhythm, and I'm gonna do like a little Nas cadence if I can and shit. Well, what I thought was a Nas cadence. It was close. It was kind of close, but it wasn't exactly it because it ran off into some other shit. Okay. But I've always had cadence.
So who came up with the idea of y'all going back
and forth? Yeah, that was
Big. He wanted to end it. You can't mess with M.E. and I was supposed to come with T.H.O.D. man, but it didn't fall on beat, so I overlapped him to do it. That's why I came in T.H.O.D. man, and now I got more Glocks and text than you. I make it hot. He wrote that. Niggas won't even stand next to you. He said, "You say this part right here." I was like, "I'll say that part."
Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
Biggie Small.
Yo, rest in peace, Big Small, man. Holy shit. But I ain't gonna lie, man. You like, I can listen to it, that record, to this day. And like I said, it's like y'all even. I just didn't hear anybody hanging with Big at that time.
That was my man's right there. If you ask me, I'll say we both killed it, but other people like to say shit like, you know, I edged them, stuff like that. But we're talking about two, first of all, kids.
Right.
Doing something they loved and trying to make something from nothing. Right. Being creatives, that's all, having fun. It wasn't, I bet you Big wasn't trying to take my head off. I wasn't trying to take, we was just having fun in that bitch. As soon as I walked in there, I told you what it was. The atmosphere was light. Niggas was snapping. Felt like being around Wu-Tang.
Peers.
For real, that was my man. The only track I've done with Nas, and we was all in the studio, was,
Belly?
And, Dogs for Life. For Belly soundtrack, yeah, Dogs for Life. Yeah. And he killed that shit.
Right.
So there's, I mean, I'm dying to get on another track with Nas because he murdered us on that. I got to get my get back. Now I got to get my get back.
You do be trying to take
I just want to keep up. I ain't be trying to take no heads. I would never, ever come at an MC I'm on a track
with. But where you saw it? Magic 3? Oh. No, but that's not on the official album.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I say this a lot.
Can't be.
One time I did a song with Styles P, and he did He did the verse after me, and I always wanted to rematch. I always wanted a rematch.
And it's not like you trying to go at him. It's just that nigga. I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm just as nice.
Yeah, that's
Fake
real.
news.
Yeah.
So,
Give him his flowers, man.
that's right. Our show was about giving flowers. We wanted to give you your flowers face to face, man.
I want to see this shit. That shit fly.
Snoop said it's like it's better than the Grammy because it's coming from your people. Yeah, they got the Method Man logo.
Yeah, they did it right.
We showing off.
Yo, man. Snoop always know what to say. That motherfucker, Snoop ain't even a star. Snoop is like a fucking enterprise.
Yeah.
Man, he's just an establishment, you know?
Right.
Snoop, I got your cereal too. My grandbaby love that shit.
Yeah.
He liked them fruit. He liked them Snoop loops. We know what Snoop loops.
What kind of bud is that, man? That shit look good. Let me get a piece. I asked a nigga for a piece of bud, and
He ain't put no name on it. You know what though? Speaking of bud though, speaking of bud, and you saying you want a piece, yo fellas, bring that shit over here real fast.
Okay, we got the.
We get flowers too. Nori, EFN, here is your flowers, bro.
Holy shit!
Damn right.
Give me
So
all your shit. You want smoke?
no, turn it off. Turn it. So
What is this? Tell us, break it down for us, man.
So this is the Tikal safe box right here, right? And it's basically a nice dressing for what's inside.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
And right now, those boxes are getting very popular, and as
Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Mainly M&M podcast in association with ePro. My name is Danny. On today's show we will be discussing Eminem's surprise appearance at 50 Cent's concert. Is Eminem in album mode? More Eminem related sales and stream records. And last weekend, which would have been the late rapper Prue's 50th birthday. Joining me today we have Blake and Ross. Guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, all good today. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to start off, first of all, with 50 Cent and Eminem. As most of you will know by now, 50 brought out Eminem during his Final Lap concert in Oakland County, Michigan. The pair performed Patiently Waiting and Crack a Bottle in front of just over 15,000 at the, wait for this guys, the Pine Knob Music Theatre. Tell you what, they would not have that as a name in any UK venue, that's for sure. Ross, there was a lot of rumours in the weeks leading up to this gig, and obviously the possibility of him joining. What did you make of the performance and the songs that they performed?
I was glad they did something a bit different, or he came out and did something a bit different. Patiently Waiting was cool. I liked hearing that again. And obviously Crack a Bottle I thought was quite cool. I think he sounded better on Crack a Bottle than he did on Patiently Waiting, but that might be because the whole show looked like it was kind of high energy. But I thought they both looked pretty good up there, and he looked like he was enjoying himself alongside 50 Cent again. So
when do you think the last time they performed those two tracks?
Was it Coachella 2017 or 2018?
I was going to say that or London, because did he come out in London as well?
Came out in London, yeah, 2018 I think at Twickenham.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, they done Patiently Waiting, but it's been a while since the two of them have done Crack a Bottle. Probably could have been, as Blake says, Coachella. What year? 2017. So it's been a good few years since fans have heard that as well. So that was quite fresh to hear that again. Blake, you're seeing 50 in Manchester next month. Do you think that he's going to show with any special guests? If so, who?
To be fair, I'm expecting the usual ones which have shown up on the tour so far. So I'm expecting, you know, Busta Rhymes, Tony Ayo, is it Jeremiah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm expecting a couple of UK artists, maybe H, maybe Bugsy Malone. I'm not expecting a great deal, in fairness, just because, I don't know, if you're going to fetch big artists out, you're probably going to save it for maybe the slightly bigger shows. You could argue Birmingham, definitely London. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, even though the Manchester is a decent-sized venue, I don't know, it's not a huge venue in terms of what you could pull off, but I don't know. I'm hoping there's going to be a pleasant surprise because there's always been a decent surprise on every tour he's been on. You know, we've seen he's brought the baby out, he's brought so many other rappers out. So who knows? I'd like to think that there's going to be something special, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, so he's performing, I think it's 10 UK shows, which is, yeah, it's pretty impressive for, you know, a non-UK artist to do that, because usually when, you know, American rappers or musicians come to the UK, it's maybe 3 or 4 shows, that's about it. But yeah, he's doing Glasgow on the 9th and the 19th of November, he's doing Manchester on the 10th and 15th, and then he's doing shows in London on the 11th, 17th, 21st, and yeah, he's doing Birmingham as well, and he's also doing Newcastle. So, like, fair play to him. He's doing an absolute ridiculous amount of cities. I believe he's just entered Europe at the moment. He's doing a few shows. I think possibly Belgium and Amsterdam as well. So, yeah, not long until he comes to the UK as well. So, I think there is some tickets still available for it. Majority of the shows have sold out, but there was a few additional dates released for Glasgow and London, so if you're interested, then tickets could still be available. Okay, guys, Eminem. Now we need to ask the sort of big question here: is he in album mode? Because last week his social media presence was unusually quite active. So there was a few things. He replied to Redman, who dropped a freestyle. He replied to Lil Wayne as well, gave him a shout out and praised his verse on Tyga's, I think it was brand new single that dropped recently. Also gave a shout out to the Detroit Lions, who were playing NFL that weekend. And he's also done a collaboration with Audiomack, where he wants fans to submit your bars, and he'll basically play the best ones on a combined playlist. So, Blake, the question that I want to ask, I think we've covered this a few times, but there's maybe a little bit more movement from him in the social media aspect. Do you think any sort of album could come out this year?
No, I'm not trying to put down on things, but it still doesn't make sense because, yes, he has been tweeting, but it's not really been anything of significance because there's been periods where he's tweeted before and the rumour mill's been starting that an album's coming and nothing's appeared. So I've said all year long, I personally think nothing's going to come this year just because of all the events that he's had this year, and all obviously the milestones, you know, behind closed doors type thing. So I just can't see it. To me, it makes more sense for an album release maybe next year, but I don't know, his birthday's coming up. He likes October, November type releases, so I'm hoping I'm wrong, I really do, but I just can't see it coming this year.
Yeah, Ross, he was, Till I Collapse was featured on a trailer for the new Call of Duty. Someone also sort of put some stories together that anytime a Call of Duty trailer featuring Eminem has came out, an album has dropped that year. Would you read into that whatsoever?
I mean, that's the first I've sort of thought about it, to be fair. That is a good point. I think when he did Call of Duty Ghosts was when, was it Ghosts that he did the song for, did Survival for?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, he obviously released Marshall Mathers LP too. So, yeah, maybe. I think that's probably maybe a little bit of a reach. I think that's obviously down to what's going on in his life at the time, I'd imagine. I'd like to think that something's going to come out of this Call of Duty collaboration, though, because obviously we were going a little bit nuts for the Is This Love music video, where that had obviously like the weird like animated video they had. He had the little Modern Warfare logo in there, and obviously now this was used for Modern Warfare 3. So yeah, pretty weird. So, but I'd like to see him do an album at least like soon. So like Blake said, he likes October.
He certainly does. So it's been during the months, as well as like in October, during the months of November and December, he has released 7 albums. 4 of them have been studio. So, I mean, yeah, it is a sort of favourite time for him to release music. If I was to be a wee bit pernickety, I don't really want an album in the sort of final 3 months of the year. The way I like it is, you know, start of the year or even the summer. I remember when the Eminem show came out back in the day, and that was released towards the end of May, I think it was. And a lot of the tracks from that do remind me, as weird as it sounds, a little bit like the summer back then when it dropped. So I don't know. I would prefer that it is in the early part of the first 6 months of next year. We did do a vote on our Twitter page, and yeah, we basically asked, do you think Eminem will drop an album this year? 61% said no, with the majority saying that they would like it to be in the first quarter of next year. 39% said that they wanted an album this year, with the majority saying December as a possible release date. So